probable change of direction in relationship as you finally know which way to go. Should I stay or should I go? Change of location to do with foreign lands, foreign countries, neighborhood, neighbors. A shocking, surprising, exciting development connected to luck with money, including a windfall. Not a bad time to play a local lottery or a regional lottery, for example. You have to seize a day, strike where the iron is hot, and make some kind of lucky momentum happen. Welcome to March of 2026 horoscope reading. This is for the sign Capricorn. And in today's video, and you can listen for your sun, moon, and rising in Capricorn, we're going to break down a very powerful month where we have a total blood moon eclipse happening in the ninth house of your sky. Well, we also have Jupiter doing 3 very lucky passes with planetary bodies that indicate a probable change of direction in relationship as you finally know which way to go. Should I stay or should I go? But also some very lovely developments regarding business, like marketing, selling, traveling, learning, teaching, coming up for you in this month ahead. So welcome, Capricorn, sun, moon, rising. We'll get into it. Let's say hello if you're new here. Welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm a Western tropical zodiac astrologer, not sidereal. We're using this guide to time your best life. And as I do that today, we'll be going week by week through the 4 weeks of the month ahead. Get a pen and paper and settle in. If you want to use astrology, which is a map of time, in order to time your best year in 2026, you might consider buying my 2026 individual signs or all signs bundle. Those are like 2.5 hour videos on average, 2 to 2.5, if not longer, in which I navigate the year ahead for you. It's my yearly fundraiser, and you might enjoy getting that content to help you out. Well, you help me build a channel, hire staff. People are complimenting me in my new video formats. That's because I hired people, hire staff to help me out, get the equipment I need when I need it, as well as to create a scholarship fund for my Sky Reader class, where people who can't afford to learn get some discounted tuitions. So thanks for listening to all that intro stuff. More about me in the description box below, and like and subscribe, and welcome here. I love this month for you guys in the sense that for Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. And how do you delineate that? Let me go back. Rising sign is your character in the simulation, the character in the game, or the role in the movie, that somebody that, a character in a fiction, a movie. But it's also circumstantially so significantly connected to life circumstances. Whereas the sun is the actor who plays the character. So the sun is your truer self, or the sun is the game player in the game simulation, but it's also connected to career and purpose. The moon is how you think and feel about reality in general, but it also represents your home, your nest, and your domicile, where you live. Okay. So keeping all those 3 in mind, I suggest you listen for sun and moon. A lot of you always ask, what do I do with my intercepted houses? What do I do? Don't use that Placidus or any other house system. For divine timing tools, you need the whole sign house system used in India, used by ancient Hellenistic astrologers. Trust me. How do you cast your chart in whole sign houses? Check my description below for my free video tutorial. I get so tired of explaining it to you guys. Every astrologer on YouTube is delineating as if we're using whole sign houses. It's the only way to do it, especially if you're trying to give everybody a general reading. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to show you the sky. I have a head cold. Actually, I think I have a flu, but whatever I have, I'm pushing through this finish line for you. I fixed myself up just enough time to get the video done for the month ahead drop, and then I will collapse into a pile in my bed again. Binge watch Netflix while I try to get better. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to show you the sky. Slow me down on the playback speed. It's an option on YouTube to slow me down. All right. I wish someone would slow me down. Maybe you guys can hit your controllers and slow me down. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is your symbol. When the sun is in Capricorn, we pretend your sun is in the first house, Capricorn. We pretend the moon is here, or your ascendant, and then we delineate the houses around the wheel. You'll notice that as we begin the month of March and we move into the second day of the month of March, the big story will be Mars's movement or ingress into the sign of Pisces. Depends on your time zone where you live, but by time we get to March 2nd or 3rd, he will have moved into your 3rd house. Mars loves adventure, travel. He also decides which is to cut off, cut, end, and sever. He also makes action happen. He can represent your kind of thrust to get motivated by something in life. And as he spends the next few weeks in your 3rd house until April 9th, which he does every 2 years. Unlike every 2 years, he's in a stellium, and unlike every 2 years, he's rising on March 17th to the visible sky. We'll be doing a deep dive video. It means a change of neighborhood for many of you, your city, your town where you currently live. Probably in the next 2 years, you'll move. However, even in this window of time, March 2nd, 3rd to April 9th, you might relocate yourself. Otherwise, you might get into a big travel thing. You're going to travel. Why would you want to travel to and fro and hither, nither, and there, and back and front? You could travel to spend time with a sibling, one older, siblings younger and older, siblings 3 older or 3 younger, or you may travel in connection with a relationship. Jupiter is in the house of long-term committed love. He's been retrograding here since November the 11th and goes direct on March the 11th. When Jupiter retrograded here, you pulled back the throttle in love. You weren't sure about love, or love from the past kept coming back to your present attention. When Jupiter goes direct on March 11th, you will likely now know what direction you want to take in a committed love relationship narrative. And we will get into more depth about this, but I will say with Mars here, if love is on the agenda, then it probably requires a relocation, a change of city or town, or travel. Jupiter rules your house of distant shores and lands, as well as he exalts your long-term love house. Likely you're involved in one or more relationships that involve people from foreign lands, distant shores, or far off places, and they may be geographically distant from where you currently live as well. Could even be the other side of a country or another town, another neighborhood. Okay, so we get the Mars story. Watch for siblings, arguments, fights with siblings until April the 9th. And also health challenges may occur in the life of a sibling in general. Watch for that. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to talk next about the eclipse on March the 3rd. And it's going to be a total blood moon Virgo eclipse here. Now, eclipses in Virgo, you've had them before, 2006, 7, 8. You went through eclipses up here. Okay. You've nothing new, been through that fall of 2006 to spring of 2008. And you also experience eclipses in Virgo. If you backpedal a little and you think to March of 2025, September 25, eclipses in Virgo. Now, here comes a lunar eclipse, total lunar eclipse. So it's a big deal because of totality. It's powerful, and it's going to open up a massive amount of shift. The change here is on the 9/3 axis, which can mean a change of location to do with foreign lands, foreign countries, neighborhood, neighbors, lots more travel, but also possibly opportunities for writing and publishing, and book publishing may open doors before your very eyes, and also legal and court case matters taking a strong precedence, especially if it involves legal separation, alimony, palimony, spousal support, or anything to do with shared resources with a spouse. And so those things become a story that begins to unfold with potency from the eclipse on March the 3rd, and it will unroll over the course of a month before and 6 months after. Especially note that often the first 90 days, 3 months after these lunar eclipses, you absolutely see what is going to happen. It doesn't take a whole 6 months to show you what the meaning of this eclipse will be. Now, the eclipse in the 9th house can impact the life of a sibling who is 2 older than you or 4 younger than you. And it may also be about something in their own lives. And a lunar eclipse in the 9th house is ruled by Mercury, who happens to be in the 3rd house. So we get siblings on siblings here, but we also get things to do with neighbors, changes of neighborhood. We got activations of marketing, selling, teaching, writing, and social media communication stuff as well along this axis. Because Mercury is here and he's the ruler of the house of rental property, it's a very strong possibility that some of you may entertain a relocation project in the wake of this eclipse that involves renting a home rather than purchasing one. And if you are wanting to rent your property out to someone else because you own a home, then that's something that you may also consider doing. One thing I want to say is that Jupiter is offering up positive energy in a sextile and a trine to a north and south node, which indicates that this has a silver lining or has something positive connected to it. This eclipse might activate August of 2015 in terms of relationship issues. I want you to go back in a time travel machine to August last summer and ask you, what were you dealing with relationships? Because that energy is back again and will be directed towards clarity and forward momentum. And I mean love relationships when we come into March 11th onward. You're going back over old territory and this eclipse is activating it. And we would say what happened in August regarding relationships, say, and travel or journeys or distance or things like that. Similar, did anything happen with a sibling back in August? That's back again as well. Now, we're going to move past the eclipse. I'll be doing a deep dive video into that eclipse. Don't forget, if you want to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, then when I put that deep dive video into the total blood moon eclipse out closer to March the 3rd, you're going to get more depth for your sign, including the asteroids and stars involved. Excuse my throat for this flu cold thing. On March the 3rd to the 5th, and it overlaps the eclipse, Venus will sextile Uranus for usually a happy surprise. Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. She's super powered. She's got her Wonder Woman outfit on, and she's talking to Uranus. A shocking, surprising, exciting development connected to love, romance, fertility, children, conception. This may also bolt out an activation of, I'm going to be a grandparent. Surprise. There's something good trying to happen when it comes to good fortune, and it can include some luck with money, including a windfall. Not a bad time to play a local lottery or a regional lottery, for example. I would say the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th, you could have a lightning strike win and feel very lucky indeed. And one other element of the Venus and Uranus sextile is surprising but positive news connected to a sibling. In any case, all of it feels pretty darn sweet, and you might be very happy. An unexpected travel opportunity connected to children or romance as well. As we move past that surprise that Venus is offering you, we come into March 4th and the 5th, where the sun will trine Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is the Lord of good things, and he will be right where you expect him in your long-term committed love house, audience and marketplace, clients and others that you would interface with. And he's going to be in a beautiful flow to the sun. And again, go back to last August, because that's where he is in terms of his degree. So he's spending time in a place he was last August. The sun is going to illuminate something, show the way, light up your direction in fated and destined ways. And because the sun is also the ruler of the 8th house, it could involve a new directional clarity around shared resources with a spouse, inheritance monies, travel trips, and inheritance, family of origin, and siblings. Or it could simply reveal something that was hidden to you or from you and give you clarity around romance, love, long distance love, travel. If you are somebody who is a teacher or you need to find a teacher in your life, it could open a doorway to a spiritual guru, guide, or teacher, but it may require that you travel in order to find that guru, or you may need to plan a trip to be with that spiritual ally or spiritual guidance person. Okay, so we're talking about March 4th and 5th. On March, and that's the first lucky break, because there'll be 3 passes to Jupiter in this month ahead. We'll cover all 3. On March the 7th, and Mercury in the heart of the sun, or Kazimi the sun, is a good news day. Revelations of things you didn't know or see coming through phone calls, text messages, and emails. There will be a Mercury Kazimi webinar. If you'd like to join me, it is free. Check the description box below to sign up for that free live class replay available. Mercury on March the 7th in the heart of the sun at 16 degrees of Pisces. And this is a 3rd house story. So I would expect you might get some information or communication coming. 3rd house can involve phone calls, text messages, emails, whatever, even a conversation that's important with a neighbor or a cousin, aunt, uncle, niece, or a sibling. Very important day. Mark your calendar, circle it off. But you can use this energy, especially if you're a writer or communicator or social media beast, to make an important post, announce something, launch a course, apply for a publishing deal, contact an agent for your your book, whatever, because what you've got going is an auspicious election on the 7th in the 3rd house. And it's all of the things I mentioned to you already. Now, possibly with this Mercury here, this moment of communications clarity or announcing of something important, Mercury can translate the announcement to a job opportunity. So if you're unemployed looking for work, you might get a sudden offer from a kind of business contract deal from somebody you know from a foreign land and distant shore that you've worked with in the past. Okay. That's a very tight delineation for a very few of you, but it could be like you hear from somebody and they're going to offer you something, or they're going to open up a door to a new career opportunity or job opportunity for you. When we move past the Kazimi, well, wait. And please be on the day of the Kazimi, right? The very same day of the Kazimi, Venus will be moving a sign boundary into Aries. And she will do that new Aries travel from about March 6th, 7th, around there, time zone dependent, to the end of March, March the 20th. And you will have an Aries 4th house story. Well, down there, she likes to be beautiful, Venus, and do beautiful things. So it can decorate the home, paint the home, build something beautiful, create something beautiful, build because of Saturn, decorate and build something beautiful in the home. Or you could have a female visit you in the home, or you could feel more sociable and loving in the home. And that vibe will take you to the end of March. Quite often, if you're a creative or artistic type, because Venus rules your creative artistic stuff, this would be a great time for a construction project in the home. But Saturn represents completion, finish line energy. So you're going to work hard to finish some, I don't know, mural on the wall, or you've been finishing the furniture, or been decorating and painting, I don't know, but you're going to finish something too, not just start it. I wouldn't start under Saturn, Venus, I would finish. All right. Venus will conjunct Neptune on March the 7th. This is helping you dispel confusion around romantic love. For you, it's definitely around romantic love, because Venus rules your romantic love house, and she's merging with Neptune, the god of confusion. And so dispelling or a clearing up can happen, but also you might still be confused. You might not be sure. You're going to get slam dunk reality check around romantic and sexual love energies hitting you over the head on March the 8th, 9th, when Venus conjuncts Saturn. So the 7th, 8th, and 9th is kind of one big reality check around romantic love, confusion, uncertainty, and delusion. Okay, let's move on to the 8th of the month to the 14th of the month. And if you don't mind praying for me that I can get over this cold in time to actually function for the weekend, that would be fabuloso. Now we're moving on, and we'll see, there's your reality check here. Saturn, Venus co-joining around the 8th and 9th. So reality check on romantic love is definitely going to be a thing. And also reality check around pie in the sky, delusional fantasies about career stuff. Okay. So on the March the 8th and 9th, Mercury will trine Jupiter, just like the sun did on the 4th and 5th of March. And this trine from this Mercury to Jupiter, both are retrograde. So some of this will take you back to August. Some of this will take you back to the first 3 weeks of February. And those two time frames, the past, are intertwined together here. And there's something you're trying to figure out. And you've got some good news coming in at the same time. Good and news. Positive, prosperous, good, lucky news, information coming through your sky around March 8th and 9th. But you might be going back to the first 3 weeks of February as well as August. Themes are intertwining here. They can involve decisions around long-term committed love, around spousal support, alimony situations, or regarding travel and committed love and long-term love, regarding business contracts and deals and negotiations. And I wonder too if this kind of energy, because it is good news, because it's so hooked to things that are in the past, doesn't really surprise you. This information, news, or stuff can be something you were expecting. If you're trying to sell a home or a property, because you want to extricate from your neighborhood, you could get a golden contract, a golden opportunity, a beautiful offer. I need to grab water. Hang in there because of my cough. Give me a sec. Everybody I know had this horrible flu. I think I have it, but I don't think I'm as bad as everyone else sounded. But normally I don't get a cough when I get a cold. So it's probably that. So let's continue on. I like this. If you're trying to sell a home in because you need to change cities or neighborhoods, particularly, or if you're floating IC and whole sign houses, it's in the third house. This could be the golden contract offer opportunity to buy or sell property or real estate. Okay. Especially with the sun ruling your house of financing and Mercury ruling your house of debts. So sell a home, refinance a home, change your mortgage structures, pay off the mortgage, all of that good stuff. Really not too shabby, March 8th to the 9th, but because of the retrograde, you've been trying to do this already. You're going to stick the landing. On March the 9th and 10th, excuse me, you have a Venus sextiling Pluto. So Venus and Pluto together is a wealth yoga. Pluto's in a money house. And between now and 2044, you can get damn rich if you play your cards right. But Pluto here, out of bounds every fall, is also not playing by the rules. So a sort of reckless, radical, revolutionary money god in your money house is looking down at or over at or applying to Venus in her detriment. Now, Venus is exiled in the fourth house. And you might be feeling a little bit of this. It's the whole month of March. You might feel like the outsider or the exile in your own home for some reason. Like you don't really feel like you belong. You know what I mean? Like I miss my true home, my true whatever. And you do have a chironic wound about where you live. You've been dealing with that since 2019, the unbelongingness of where you live. But with Pluto and Venus, this is a money story. And I think you could come into some positive financial situation here around the 9th and 10th. It may connect to property, land, and resources and real estate. It may connect to siblings. It may connect, because Venus exalts your sibling house. It may connect to inheritances even under this kind of sky. But there's a nice little blip on March 9th, 10th on the financial front. Pluto likes to transform and revolutionize. And he's mostly about money where he's sitting. And Venus is about your family of origin, your ancestral and your childhood stuff. Maybe this is a transformative improvement on your self-worth and self-value as you dig underneath the surface of your childhood shit and excavate a wound and heal it, because power of love and love of power, it's transforming you. And you may want to speak of this transformation in particular to somebody important in your life because it activates your house of speech. Moving past that story and into the March 14th to the 20th narrative. First things first, we're going to see Mercury and Mars combine forces in a collision as Mercury retrograde smashes right into Mars on March the 15th. This will be felt by you March 15th, 3 days before and a couple of days after. And normally I'd be worried. You could have a fight or a blowout or a treacherous event happen with a sibling, a neighbor, extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, like a volcanic negative, emotional turmoil of some kind, a conflict, a fracture in relationship of those types. Definitely would be careful of neighbors, shouting and screaming at you. And whatever this is, it's also not as bad as it could be. Partly, despite the inflammation of the North Node, so watch for inflamed speech and communications with people, including social media landscape trolls and stuff, or the neighbors, or your siblings, or your local environment, daily life, like the guy at the gas station, like goes off on you or something when you're gas pumping up. I don't know. It's a treacherous window. So be careful around the 15th, 2 days before and after, but also be careful for travel. This is like I'm on the road traveling. This is travel, trips, especially road trips. And I don't know what this is, but Rahu and Mercury and Mars together could be somewhat challenging to your health. Mercury rules your health. So I'm warning you not to get into an accident. Watch out for road rage around the 15th, 2 days before and a day after. Be freaking careful, Capricorn. Okay. On the other side, the flow from Lord Jupiter is trying to be protective, but Jupiter's more protective around other people in your life, not you. So all said and done, well, there may be calamitous types energies here. Ultimately, I think it's going to be fine. She's laughing, right? Commercial transactions, Mercury, Mars, North Node, good for selling a property. But again, tension and intensity is at hand here. You might have to move. Like I often see Mars, Mercury, like hard conversations about moving somewhere, like third house conversations, like, I'm out of here. Or someone says, can you leave? Or whatever. Or fractious moments of having to relocate or move or travel with a great deal of urgency and intensity. That could be a story. Okay. I'm just making it up, but it could be a story. Moving on. Just don't get injured, please. Moving on. We move into March the 17th to the 19th as the second Uranian surprise happens, just like Venus gave you a happy surprise, I hope, unexpected breakthrough on March 3rd to 5th. Here comes the sun. The sun will do the very same thing. Now, sun is illuminating, of course, it shines bright light. And you'll notice it happening around the 17th to the 20th, that the sun will activate Uranus, pretty exact, okay, on the 19th, which is Thursday in my time zone, and building up though and waning. Illumination and clarity so you can move forward properly regarding a situation with art, creativity, entrepreneurial business, your children, and romantic dating level love and sex. And that clarity could also be, should you travel? Should you move? Should you have that conversation? Should you send that email? I'm tying in third house stuff in order to maybe, with Mars's proximity to the sun, complete, end, or sever something. Now, no one wants to sever a relationship with your children, but it's possible there may be a kind of clarity moment regarding a relationship to a particular child. Or a clarity about whether you should travel to be near an adult child or an adult child traveling to be near you. And we still get siblings activated through all of this as well. A shocking, surprising clarity about a relationship with a sibling, in this case, 2 younger, 3 older, 5 older in particular than you, for those of you who came from big Catholic families. On March the 18th, we have a new moon at 28 degrees of Pisces. A fresh start and a new beginning is emerging. This lunation will happen right here. Where am I? We're moving to March the 18th. And this 28th degree lunation and this Pisces water stellium with a destined node of fate will open up a miniature triangle that's fortunate and blessed. Contracts and agreements. Now, let me talk about you, Capricorn, in your marriage, or if you're single as well. You've had Juno since December 29th through to March 29th, moving through your sign. Every 4.5 years, this happens. It's a calibration, especially for Cap rising and sun. It's a recalibration of your desire to be in a long-term committed union. This is the kind of thing that says, I need a divorce, I'm out of here, or I need a relationship, I want to commit. You get this time it's 3 months, recalibration every 4.5 odd years. So you might go back and go, oh my God, she's right. The end of December to the end of March, I'm just like, should I stay or should I go? Do I want to be in a committed love relationship or not? Which kind of person am I going to commit to? Do I want to end this commitment? By God, I'm out of this marriage or situation. That's what you've been dealing with for most of you, because Juno's going through your sign. And at the same time, now you're going to have some clean energy coming through, like a breakthrough of certainty around this March 18th lunation. Every new moon gives you up to 6 months for it to fulfill, but the clarity will arrive 2 to 3 weeks, at max a month after the moon of March 18th. Give it a month. Clarity descends because Uranus is clarity, insight, breakthrough, romance, love, and travel or neighborhood changes or journeys or communications. So there's a shift here. The moon bakes it in. It will last a while. It will last, like, it unfolds over 6 months, but like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks after the moon. But look very specifically to the day or so of the moon. Go March 17th, 18th, 19th to look at the energy of this to play out in an actual moment in time. Okay. It's a turning point eclipse. It's a turning point new moon for you. And a new moon in the third house, just like the eclipse up here said the same thing. In the 6 months that follows this new moon, you're going to probably travel a lot, write or teach, start studying a skills-based learning course, get into the publishing industry, or change your neighborhood, your town, your city, or where you live. Moving onward. When we move into, well, we'll keep up with the 18th. I forgot about Venus. Venus is at 14 degrees. Jupiter's at 15. So you're going to notice, like on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, Venus squares Jupiter. These are two benefic planets, making a square still a positive thing. So what happens here is the 17th, 18th, and 19th, you have to seize a day, strike where the iron is hot, and make some kind of lucky momentum happen regarding your home, your property, your private life, something going on with people you live with, maybe something going on with your parents, depends on your age. And it's going to activate Jupiter in the 7th house, which is now direct as of March the 11th. Mars is now visible as of March 17th. We got a really strong sky here. It's a turning point in love, romance, and career matters, all three. And is coming on the heels of a sense of goodness, truth, knowledge, and wisdom, as well as luck or gratitude or a feeling of expansive joy and hope. Okay. So for both career and romance stories, and a very seize the day moment around March the 19th. You could even make a seize the day choice to make a trip, travel, to book a journey somewhere connected to career or long-term relationship narratives. Finally, we move to the last week of the month, and we're going to move to the 21st, and where Mars will trine Jupiter, just as we saw the Sun do on the 4th and 5th, just as we saw Mercury do on March 8th and 9th, with the distinction that Mars is visible and Jupiter is direct, giving it a very different flavor. Now, Jupiter is going to say good, and Mars is going to say action, good action, prosperous action, right action. Momentum that yields good fruit, that bears positive, awesome expansion in your life. Mars says travel, journey. Mars says cut, end, and sever a city, a town, a neighborhood, a location, and Mars might also say work hard with great momentum to finish a social media project, a writing project, a new website, ambitiously moving forward so that you can prosper through your audience and marketplace. That one's a bit more of a stretch, but I could go with that. And Mars definitely has a deciding quality, which means in Latin to cut off. So as you cut something off in a destined way, and there's news, one might be announcing it, you're moving this way towards what Jupiter wants for you. So if you were a single Cap, you might be moving towards a relationship opportunity. And if you're with somebody, you might be moving towards maybe a locational shift with that person or towards that person. And with the moon exalted in the house of romantic and sexual love, again, we see this glorious uplift regarding commitment, long-term love, romance, travel, locational changes, communications, emails, destined turning point energy in a positive way. One must choose and decide under the sky. Look to March 21st, a day before and a day after for that story. Finally, on the 21st to the 31st, we see Saturn sustaining a sextile between Saturn and Pluto. This is going to trundle along all month long, that these two are hooked up together. And long story short, it's kind of vibing for the whole end of the month that you want to stabilize stuff in a nice way to do with home, property, nest, and money. Stabilize money, stabilize your property, stabilize your home. At the very same time, one of the gifts of this kind of sky for you, besides stability, is that you might also find yourself looking very clearly and strongly at how you can transform your financial story. Pluto wants to burn it down and build it back up. And with Saturn, the rebuild will go the distance. If you're You tear down a house and rebuild it. Will build a lasting home in your money, in your home, and in your finances. Okay. And it's a long game. You'll see it getting tighter and tighter by the end of the month, but it's going to really help you fortify and stabilize money and home-based matters. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Pluto Chronicles, weekly astrology stuff, description box below. Come join me there. Check it out if you want to become a part of my membership community here, where you get live streams and all kinds of content no one else gets, or join me in Patreon, where I teach live classes 4 times a month. Different tiers get different things, including a free deep dive class with me every month for the balsamic tier. I'll see you on my other platforms. Thank you for bearing with me, guys. I got through it I was way worse, I think, on yesterday's tranche of videos than I am today. I actually feel worse today, but I sound better than I am. Take good care. Ciao, ciao.
Lunatic astrology.